How are you? You guys good? I'm going 1,000 miles an hour in so many directions. It's unbelievable. But I'm excited to be able to spend some time with you today. We're going to go deep on DMOs. I'm flying to Mumbai, India on Friday morning, which is an interesting flight. It's like we fly to LA, then we fly to Dubai, and then we fly from Dubai to Mumbai, and 3 days of training over there. Then we head back. A lot of stuff going on, exciting stuff. But first of all, I have an apology for all of you. If you're on and you don't have your camera turned on, and you can have your camera turned on, turn it on. This is not something where you just hide. This is where we play serious together. And RFG, I saw your name in the screen, and it reminded me of RG3. I was like, what? Wait, what's going on? But anyway, you might get that occasionally with the rhyme of it. Anyway, we sent you this morning. Did you get it? If you saw it, put a 1 in the chat. If you saw it, you see that. If you great, I'm so glad you got it. We wanted to get it to you last night, but we were making some last minute adjustments, and we were trying to get it to you. So I've got mine bound. I saw a lot of you bound yours. I think for me personally, having a visual kind of library to be able to just say, pick a topic, boom, grab that, and be able to go work on it with the team is helpful for me. So if it's helpful for me, I think it might be helpful for you. Whether you want a spiral bound, I like having the spine on it so I can see which one it is when it's sitting on the shelf. But we're going to walk through this, and if you don't have it for some reason, here's the QR code, and here's the link. So I have a couple quick announcements, and then we'll dive right in. The first is inside GoPro Insider, your GoPro Leadership Lab resources are now all in there. So if you go inside of GoPro Insider, you can find where it says training library and replays. So if you want to watch the replay from last month where we did the audit, or today doing the demo, or whatever, you want to go back and look at it, or be able to get any of the resources, downloads, workbooks, any of those types of things, it's inside of your GoPro Insider tech platform. Okay? So let's talk about a daily method of operation. And this is kind of misunderstood. Okay? Some people have a business flow. This is how I build my business. Like my friends in Herbalife, for example, they have a nutrition club, or they have got a fit camp, or they've got a social media strategy, or whatever they have. They have various. You probably have a method of doing business, right? Like my Plexus friends, as an example, like normally on when I'm talking to the public, I don't mention company names, but I don't mind mentioning them here. Just give you an example. The Plexus people who are dealing with gut health and microbiome, those types of things in the health space, it's almost exclusively social media and circle of influence. Okay, so there's a difference between your business flow and a DMO. And we're going to describe that very specifically, because a lot of people have the two kind of combined in their head, and a DMO is not a business flow. It's a piece of a business flow. So let's talk about the importance of it first. If you have a base DMO, and I just underline the word base or write the word base, a base DMO, something everybody on the team does daily, regardless if they're part-time, full-time, regardless if they have small hopes and dreams or big ones. What is the base, right? It puts a focus on what matters most. It builds habits that compound, right? And we're going to talk about how to do this, how to design one, because every one of you might have a slightly different one. It's not one size fits all at all. Okay? We're gonna kind of dig in to what would be the number one task that you'd want everybody in your team to do every day? And then what's number two? And then what's number three? And how many should we have? And how are we going to convince people to do it? Right? So you want to build habits that compound. So if you can get somebody into motion, you can keep them in, it's easier to keep them in motion. Would you agree? If your people are start, stop, they work for, 2 days and then they don't do anything for 10 days. I mean, if all business is conversation, the DMO keeps you and your distributors in conversation. Does that make sense? It keeps them in the game where things can happen. Magic can appear. A connection will happen, or a conversation goes in a particular interesting way. So it builds habits that compound. It boosts confidence and it reduces overwhelm. One of the biggest things that happens in our business is overwhelm. Somebody goes to your convention, they come home, they're useless for like 2 weeks because they have too many notes and too many to-dos and too many thoughts and too many trainings and too many options. Anybody ever go to Cheesecake Factory? There's too many options on that menu. There's too many pages. I know it's their thing, fine, but if you want duplication, you cannot have a Cheesecake Factory. You hear what I'm saying? You can't give people too many options because a confused mind does less than a focused mind. Okay? So, and it supports duplication. If we boost confidence and reduce overwhelm, we're going to have more duplication. And that's the name of the game. So, that's the importance of a base DMO. Let's talk about why it should be documented. You do not have a system unless it's in writing. You don't have a system unless everybody knows what it is. You don't have a DMO unless if you ask an average person what's on your to-do list today, if they can't tell you, like it's automatic, you don't have one. See, if you only have a DMO when people remember to do it, you don't have a DMO. You need to have one that they can't forget, not one that they have to remember. You feel the distinction there? There's a big distinction there. So it creates accountability. If you have it documented, now everybody knows. Here it is. It clarifies expectations. And I'm going to talk later about the levels of daily action plans, daily methods of operation. And I'm almost even tempted to change the word DMO, but I know, or the acronym or whatever it's called, but I know so many people think about it that way. There are levels of DMOs. I'm going to talk about that later. There's levels for everybody. That has to be very simple. And then there's levels for maybe people who are at your core rank or people who have a little bit more serious. There might be a level for a full-time person that they're going to do different daily tasks than a part-time person. Does that make sense? Maybe for a presenter, somebody who's presenting, there's a different method of operation for them, or somebody who's training or somebody who's traveling. There's different methods of operation as you rise through the ranks, but you need to have a base. It clarifies expectations, it creates accountability. It enables tracking and growth. You have the ability to track it once you have it documented. How many people are doing it? How do you know they're doing it? And it strengthens team duplication. Here's why a simple DMO is a smart one. And all of these slides are in your workbook, so you can make notes, follow along. You don't have to write them all down. They're all there. Simplicity drives duplication. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. One of the things I admired about Jim Rohn is he could take a big, complicated personal development idea and he could reduce it down to language that I could understand. And I could go, oh, okay, thank you. I can do that. Where some people, they like to sound smart, so they use too many words. When I consult with companies, You know, it's one of my most common phrases. You have too many words. The company's like, what are you talking about? Too many words. There's too many words, and there's too many descriptions, and there's too many APTs and DMOs and FPRs and APZs and ZPGs and all this stuff. How? Too many words. You have to have less words. And they're like, you're serious? I'm dead serious. You ever do that exercise in school? I was a terrible student, but I remember this happening, where they would say, write a 300-word essay or something like that. Remember? And then they say, okay, now do it same thing in 150 words. All right, now do it same thing in 75 words. All right, now do it same thing in 25 words. Capture it in 25 words. Now do it same thing in 10 words. Can you do it in 5? That's what I'm talking about when I mean simplicity. See what I mean? So we fall in love with our words. We fall in love with all our insider lingo. We fall in love with all these fancy names, and we add too many layers to our story. It's like, you ever see, I grew up in the Midwest, and lake life was the thing in the summer. But these little cabins on the lake, you ever see a cabin that was built 80 years ago, and then they had an addition to it that was done in the 50s, and then they had another edition that was done in the 80s, and then they had another edition that was done in 2005, and it's this monstrosity. That's what a bunch of your DMOs are. That's what a bunch of your company DMOs are. It's almost like, what's the country where every time, is it Venezuela or that's doing all the reform about, I can't remember, one of South American countries. Every new regulation they add, they have to take away 5. That's their law. If you're going to add a regulation, you have to take 5 away. And that's the same thing I want to tell you. If you're going to add something to your DMO, you got to take something away. Be careful stacking too much stuff, because people won't duplicate. So, simplicity drives duplication. Overwhelm kills consistency. If people get overwhelmed, they'll stop. And if they stop, man, if you don't get them going fast, they're going to be gone. We're all playing a game of keeping people close to the fire longer. Clarity equals confidence. It fits into real life. If it's simple, it fits into real life. It keeps the focus on income-producing activities instead of fooling ourselves that we are building a business when we're just sitting around talking to each other about how excited we are. We are very guilty of this. Talking to each other about how amazing the opportunity is. We're already in. We need to go tell somebody that doesn't know the story. And it eliminates excuses. You have the ability to diagnose everybody in your team by just asking them the question, have you done this DMO today? Did you do it yesterday? Are you going to do it tomorrow? If the answer is no, well, we know where to go to work. Make sense? So, the key to success, our key to success, is getting a large group of people, massive group, to do a few simple things over an extended period of time, consistently. Large group, few things, consistently. That's our goal. That's the key. And so here's my question for all of you, and we're going to have our first kind of little interactive piece of this. I promise this training right here can change your life. This one right here can change your business. This one right here can unlock and unleash your team if you really pay attention to it. Okay? So, what are the daily activities that if you had a magic wand and every person on your team was forced to do that one activity, or 2 or 3 or 4, if everybody in your team was forced to do it, they didn't have a choice. Let's say it was their job, and they were paid a salary, but they had to do these things. What would be the things that you'd want them to do? What would be the best for your growth? What would create real momentum in both your business and theirs? So I want you to start, throw into the chat what you think. And can you scroll up just a tiny bit? So contacting would be one. All right, put it on the list. Conversations, having conversations with people. Okay, put it on the list. How many? How many conversations? Is it a conversation? New contacts, talk to people, start talking about what they do, relationships with others, invite people to opportunity calls, conversations for income activities. What are the 4 income activities? Contacting, prospecting, use the products. Yeah, we got to build a belief in using the products. Got to be a base, doesn't it? If they're not using the product, they're going to stop sharing eventually. They're not going to have the same belief and conviction. We got to start by them being a good customer. Would you agree? As a base. So there's a lot that you can do if you wave a magic wand. And I like playing the if you wave a magic wand game. I'm going to catch up over here because I got slides and I got workbook. So I can remember to tell you what page I'm on. All right, so on page 9, what I'd like you to do is just off the top of your mind, if there was 10 things that you could persuade everybody in your team to do every single day, what would those 10 things be? Just take a few minutes and write them down. And we'll work on it more later. But I'm going to give you some suggestions and we're going to brainstorm it, but I want you to think about it. What gets the best results on your team? We'll get results, but not very many people will do it. Because here's the thing I want you to understand. The more you have on your team, the more tasks you have in a base DMO, the stronger leader you need to be. If you're not a strong leader, you need like 1, 2, max 3. You can't have more than 3 if you're not a strong leader. You have to be amazing to have 7. You've just got to be like a force of nature to get people to do 7 every day. You kidding me? 7? People are volunteering, doing this part-time, different levels of commitment, and you're going to get them to do 7? I want to meet you because you're special. And there are these unicorns that could have DMOs, that some that have them as many as 10, and they get it broadly accepted in their organization. But they're rare. Like Jessie Lee Ward was one of them. She was an example. I mean, she could get people to do things that they weren't going to do, and still she was reducing it down. There was still a huge gap between her and the next leaders. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go through some key elements of a daily method of operation. And these are just suggestions for you, and we're going to brainstorm this, and we're going to work on it together, okay? Because it's not just enough to identify what they are. You next have to identify how they're going to do it. And then you have to identify how you're going to promote it. And then you have to identify how you're going to reward it. So I'm already giving you a DMO that might hurt your head. Right? Identify it. Right? How they're going to do it. How you're going to promote it so other people do it. And how you're going to reward the activity. So this is not in any order of importance because this one is not necessarily applicable to service-based companies, but using the product or service. Would that be a good one? Is that something that should be foundational for you? Now, if you're in the service-based business, that can't be your core DMO because you might not have a need to use the service every day. If you're in prepaid legal services, Legal Shield, That was their previous name. Legal Shield, as a legal insurance company, you're not making a legal claim every day. You're not doing your will every day. So that probably shouldn't be your base DMO. If you're in a travel business, you're probably not traveling every day. Fair? But so you might need a different one. For all of you in product-based businesses, health, wellness, everything else, in my opinion, this one is a non-negotiable. This one is absolutely fundamental. Have to focus in on this one. So using products or services, I'm going to give you 10 and then we're going to break them down, okay? No? It's different than the workbook? Huh? They do. Okay. So, Page 12. Thank you. All right. Okay. So page 12, design and document the daily method of operation. Part 1, using your products or services. Here's what I want you to think about. Detail how you and your team are going to personally use the products or services every day. How many products does your company have that they could take every day? Approximately. Put in the chat. How many? 3? 1,950? 4 or 5, 200? Can you do a DMO with 200 products? Where everybody's going to take 200 products every day? No. So the question should be, what is going to be what I call the point of the spear? The point of the spear. This identifies a person. This connects them. It gets them the best results. What is the point of the spear that everybody's going to focus on this thing, and then we can expand beyond that as a bonus? But what is the non-negotiable? What is that cornerstone thing that we can all agree on is going to be in everybody's best interest? If you can come up with one, it would be great. But you might not be able to. Let's say you're health and wellness and part of it's weight loss, and some people don't need to lose weight. Okay. What's the option for them then? Might be healthy nutrition. They're probably already thinking about their health. Maybe it's energy. But what I'd like you to think about and put into your notes, how would you rank your products in most business importance, and maybe your top 5? What are the top 5 that get results? What are the top 5 that tie people emotionally to your organization? What are the top 5 that are not difficult to do? What are top 5? Keep the point of the spear. Here's the danger. Once you get to a certain size, companies start adding lines and lines and lines and lines, and pretty soon you have something for everything. And you can't have a DMO about everything. This making sense? You just can't. It doesn't work. So you have a DMO on what is the point of the spear, and then once they're comfortable there, then you can start adding some other things. Yeah, go get the shampoo over here. Yeah, go get the skincare over there. Yeah, you need some better sleep, go get that over there. But that might not be your point of the spear unless you're a better sleep company. So how does this work with travel? It wouldn't work with travel. That's my point, Sophie. With the service, you wouldn't be using it every day. So these are things that are options, okay? These are all options for you to design yours. And what I'm going to suggest to you, based upon your level of leadership ability, is absolute maximum would be like 7. And that's probably not even healthy. I mean, you'd have to be a freak of nature to cause everybody in your team to do 7 things every day, no matter how simple they are. Maybe 5, maybe 3. Some of you just need to pick one, and that needs to be your only focus until that one is permanently baked into your team, and then you find the second one. Yeah, but I need them to do this too. Yeah, but they're not going to. Get everybody to do one thing. Make sense? Okay. So, which product? I want you to make a list. Now, here's the second question. How? How? You got to tell them how to use this product, when to use this product, where to use this product. Like an example of a product DMO is take your product publicly whenever possible. You could just go live on social and take your product every day if you want to. And don't say anything. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. But if everybody in your team was doing that, would you get better results by taking it in front of people? What if you took it to work and you every day you took it during coffee break in the morning in front of somebody? And you took it during lunch in front of somebody. See the difference? Now compound that with every person on your team for the next 3 years. Don't worry about travel. I got you. I got you. It's just not this one. There's plenty of things that my travel friends are going to do. I got you. It's fine. But take it whenever, publicly whenever possible, is a small wrinkle. See what I'm saying? Maybe it's time of day. Everybody in your team takes it in the morning. Everybody on your team takes it every day at lunch. Something. It might be around timing. It might be around quantity. Maybe it's a little tiny shot of something that helps you, but you need to take it 3 times a day. All right. It's a 3 time a day thing. How are you going to get the best results from this stuff? Okay. And the little pro tip, if you can encourage your team to take it publicly versus take it privately, you're going to get better results. Even take a photo of you taking it. Little video of you taking it. Make a reel. Just put it up. Don't say nothing. Say, gosh, I feel great. That's all you got to do. Don't tell them sometimes what it is. Now we're getting into like some social media stuff as well, but you understand the assignment for number 1? Identify which ones will get you the best culture results, business, duplication results. If you could wave a magic wand at everybody on the team, did it every day. Tell them how to do it. Tell them when to do it. Give them instructions on it. Make sure that it's being done in the most effective way. Okay? So that's number 1. And if you have questions on this as we're going through it, either write them down or throw them into the chat and we'll answer them. So before I get into number 2, one of the things that's going to drive these DMOs is third-party resources. And I'm going to have you put this into your workbook. But if you want to expect a person to do something by themselves, it just won't duplicate. What it'll duplicate is some sort of third-party resource that we tie into these DMOs. So before I start going into the ones that would include third-party resources, these are 3 categories. Tools. What are the tools that you can encourage a person to use in a particular DMO for your business? People. Who are the people that you can lean on or you can leverage? Who are the people available for your team to be able to leverage in order to be able to have something that duplicates? And who are the events? Or where are the events? What are the events that you can use? Because third-party tools are going to be part of your DMO for sure. Because people need that resource because they're not, if you want to have a large group of people to do a simple thing, they're not going to have the skill or the confidence to do it without a tool. Make sense? All right. So we're going to spend a lot of time on third-party tools, but you can make a list of those in your workbook, page 15. I would encourage you to create a list of all the tools you have available, every tool, all the people that are available with their contact information that you can use to leverage your business, including yourself, your leverage tool for your team, all the events that you can use. Okay? Make a list of all the upcoming events, Zoom events, team events, everything. So you've got all of this in one place instead of trying to come up with it off the top of your head. Because you're going to figure from this, and I've got 3 pages for you. 1 page just for your tools, 1 page for people, 1 page for events in the workbook. Yeah? So we go to the second recommended DMO, and you can decide if this one's in yours. And here's what's going to be really hard. Very quickly, you're going to say, well, I have to have that, and 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 pretty soon you're at 7. And again, for higher level people, you can give them 7. For part-time everybody, it's got to be less. So use products is one. Sharing the products is a second. Communicating to some prospect that you have products available. That would be something you want your team to do, right? Let people know that you have a solution for them. Let people know that you have a travel service. Let people know that they can book their trip. Let people know that they could lose some weight. Let people know that they could have better skincare. Let people know that they could change their shampoo and have a better result. Let people know. They could have more energy, sleep better, whatever your benefits are. So sharing the products, I think, would be a good suggestion for people to do on a daily basis. Now, if you're going to get them to do it, what tool, person, or event are you going to use to accomplish that task? Because they won't do it on their own. If there's a tool that would communicate everything quick, to the point, 3 minutes, something, now you can get somebody to watch that video, yeah? Let's say it's a 3-minute video that explains your product really, really well. And if your company doesn't have one, you create one. Said, hi, my name is Eric, and I want to tell you about a product that's had a big impact on my life. And it does this, and it does this, and this, and this, and all the compliant things that you can say. And whoever asked you to watch this video thinks a lot of you. And if I could give you a recommendation, try this product. Be a customer of this product one time. And let us know the feedback that you get from it. We're confident you're going to love it. What about a 9-minute video? Fine. Again, if it's 9 minutes, you probably need to have a higher skills than 3 minutes. Right? To get somebody to make the time, you have to go in with a different posture, don't you? What if it's 30 minutes? But it's really, really good though. I did a training yesterday, and somebody was saying, "Well, my presentation's 2 hours long. How do I do it?" I'm like, 2 hours? I don't even understand. What this is just you're not doing a seminar. You're just letting people are ready to buy. If you don't think people are ready to buy, go to the mall and watch how much nonsense they are buying just because they're at the mall. They don't need it. They just feel like they need to buy something. People are ready to buy. Social selling is going crazy. People are looking at stuff and they're finding stuff and they're clicking buttons and one click here and grab it there and yeah, I'll give it a try. You know how much stuff around your product or service is sitting in your prospect's house that they never even opened from some competitor? They'll buy. You just got to give them an ability to do it. Make it fun, make it light, make it easy, yeah? So for me, if it's me and I'm trying to educate somebody, I want a tool. Personally. Maybe there's a little event, but that's harder. inside of a campaign, let's say I'm on a 90-day run and there's a daily Zoom every single day, and it's exciting and fun. Well, could I invite somebody to that Zoom? Sure. Is it harder to get people to an event? Yes, much harder than getting somebody to watch a tool. So tools, people, events is in order of difficulty. Tools are easiest. People are second easiest. And let me connect you with somebody who can share it better than I could. Events are the hardest, but the events are most effective. If you can actually get them to attend, you're going to get better results, but it's hard. You better have a skill level. I was good at that at the beginning. Saved my life. Saved my network marketing life because I could get people to an event and I sucked at everything else. I was terrible. But I didn't have to be very good. I just had to sit next to them and say, gosh, isn't this amazing? Gosh, isn't this amazing? And then I go introduce them to somebody at the event and I'd walk them around. And if they had a question, I'd have somebody else answer it. It was perfect. Unbelievable. But I'll give you an example. The little audio, I've had examples of video and audio tools. One of the first tools I had, well, this is about sharing the opportunity. I'll come back to that later. Sharing the product. There might be a sample program that would work. Everybody could, do you have a product that is sampleable? Put a 2 in the chat if you have a product that is sampleable. And if it's around your core of your product, it's awesome. Because can you get somebody to get a sample out to one person a day? That's sharing the product. That's not hard. They can do that. You can give them a little process and teach them how to say it. So samples are good, or a tool is good. Now I want to give you a quick script on how to get people to watch a tool. Okay, I'll walk you through this. This little script changed my whole life. And the reason why it changed my life is I thought that if I gave somebody a video, they'd watch it. And if they agreed that they were going to watch it, that they would watch it. Nope. I thought if I invited somebody to an event, they'd show up. Nope. I thought a person would at least be open to taking a look at what I had. Nope. I realized that you have to have some words to say. So this script duplicated for me. I was able to teach everybody on my team to do this simple thing. Whatever your product is. Let's say you have a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video or something. Let's call it a 5-minute video. That would explain your product really well and would educate the person and open them up to potentially being a customer. Yeah. So you talk to them and say, hey, I've got this product that's amazing for the following reasons. And I have a video that explains exactly how it works. And it's 5 minutes long. If I sent you this video, would you watch it? If I sent you this link, would you watch it? Really critical question. If I sent you this link, would you watch it? If I gave you a sample, would you use it? See what I'm saying? If I gave you the sample, would you try it and give me feedback tomorrow? Sure. If I sent you this, it's 5 minutes long. It's not going to take the rest of your life. If I send you this link, will you watch it? They say yes. Are they going to watch it? No. You have 3 more questions to ask before they're going to say yes, before it's real. Before I learned this little script, I could get about 20% of people who said they were going to do something to do it. And once I learned these 4 questions, I could get 80% of people to do what they said they were going to do. Now compound that through your organization with your DMO and you're golden. So if I sent you this link, here's the link. Let's say this is the link. If I sent you this link, I'm not going to send it to you. It's over here. I'm not saying I'm going to send it to you, but if I send it to you, would you watch it? They say yes. I still keep it over here. Great. When can you see it for sure? Oh, I don't know. Well, if you did know, just, give me a time. I don't care when it is. It's just, when can you see it for sure? It's 5 minutes long. By tomorrow night. Perfect. So if I contact you day after tomorrow, you'll have seen it for sure, right? So if I contact you after whenever you said you were going to see it, you'll see it for sure, right? It's still over here. Yeah. All right. What's the best way for me to contact you, and what's the best time? Want me to text you? 10 a.m.? All right. 10 a.m. day after tomorrow. I'll shoot you a text, and I can't wait to hear what you think about it. If you feel like letting me know what you think ahead of that time, go ahead. But if not, I'll talk to you 10 a.m. day after tomorrow. Here's the link. Here's what happens. They say yes 4 times. They're going to watch 80% of the time. Can you teach this little script? If I would you, when for sure. So if I contact you after that, you've seen it for sure. Yeah. What's the best way for me to contact? Lock in the appointment. I'll talk to you then. Bye. Now, here's what happened to me before that. Please watch my video. Please, please, please. I'm begging you. Watch my video. Please. It would mean the world to me if you would just watch my video. And I go, yeah, fine. And then I start calling me. Have you seen it yet? 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 And they're like, dude, I got a life to live. What are you doing? Right? Now you're begging. Your posture's completely messed up. If you want to have a DMO, you can't have a posture like that. So if I do these 4 questions and I book the appointment, now when I text them day after tomorrow, I'm just being a professional doing what I said I was going to do. I'm following up. I'm being a person of my word. Now they're the jerk if they don't respond. I'm not the jerk for chasing. You see how this works? So good, I'm telling you. Now, will you need to train this? Yes. Would you need to maybe put it in a little script that somebody has in front of them so they read it until they get it mastered? Yeah. Does it add a little complexity? Yeah, it does. If you handed a sample to somebody, you had a little free sample program, is that going to have less friction? Yep. Is it going to educate them fully? Probably not. So you got to find out what you can do here. So this little thing, getting them to say yes. Now you might have to repeat steps 2 through 4, because here's what happens in real life. I contact Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, hey, when I thought about who would benefit from a product that I'm using, I thought about you. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. It's done this and this and this and this. And I've got this little video. It's 3 minutes long that it can explain it better than I could. And I think you're going to love it. Let me ask you a question. Vanessa, it's 3 minutes. Just to remind you, if I sent you this link, would you watch it? She says, yeah, sure. When can you see it for sure? Today sometime. All right, cool. So if I contact you later tonight, shoot you a text or something, you'll see it for sure, right? Again, 3 minutes long. She says, yeah, sure. All right, what's a good time? You want me to text you first or call you? Oh, 8 o'clock tonight? All right, I'll send you a text. I can't wait to hear what you think about this little 3-minute video. If you feel like sending me a message before 8 o'clock tonight, fantastic. If not, I'll talk to you at 8. Here's the link. Bye. Can a person do that once a day? Every day? Yep. Person they meet on social? Sure. Their friend, family? Yep. Somebody at work? Yep. Somebody who gives them good service at a restaurant? Yep. So if he says, would you remove the link after the time that they say they're going to watch it? Probably not. Again, you're not going to pull the link back. I'm taking my link back. Like, no, look, I'm just going to follow up. And here's how the follow-up works. I contact, who was I working with? I can't remember. Anyway, day after tomorrow at 10 a.m., I sent him a text. So what did you like best about the video? I don't ask them if they watched it. What'd you like best about that video link I sent you? What did you like best about the video link I sent you? And then some of them are going to say, man, I forgot. I intended to, but I forgot. No problem. Don't get mad at them. I used to get mad at people. It's a bad idea. Just no problem. When do you think you could see it for sure, for sure? And I literally would say for sure, for sure. I'll do it today for sure. Fantastic. So if I contact you tomorrow, you'll see it for sure. Cool. What's the best way for me to contact you? What's the best time? 11 a.m. tomorrow? Great. See you tomorrow. I'll shoot you a text. Have a great day. Can't wait to see what you think about it. Bye. And I contact them tomorrow. They still haven't done it. Listen, you're not going to hurt my feelings. My interest here is just that you understand what this is. I think I told you, but it's just 3 minutes. You're going to go to the bathroom at some point today. It's just 3 minutes. It's not that much. And you don't have to tell me you're going to watch it today. You could say, I'm not going to watch it till January 1st. Fine. Just whenever for sure. So I don't waste your time. I don't want to bother you, but I do want to find out what you think about it. It's January 1st. Fantastic. So January 2nd, if I contact you 100%, you'll see it. Yeah? All right. Again, it's 3 minutes. I think you're going to love it. All right. Got to go. Talk to you January 2nd. Bye. Can you duplicate this? Is that simple enough? Because if you just ask people to watch your video or you spam people, you can do that every day, but you're just going to piss off the world versus being a professional. Okay? Now, so this little 4-part script, some of these, there's a lot of training that I've done on these. These are my core. This is like a little bonus script for you. And you're going to want to customize it for your product, the invitation and the exact language. But if you understand the flow, put a 7 in chat if you think you can use this script to get more people to share the product using some sort of tool or person or event. Yeah? Okay, cool. Next, daily task number 3 is share your opportunity. Share your business. Now, there's a bit of a debate going on in the world today, and I'm going to give you my opinion on the debate. The debate is, do I just have people share the product? Do I have people share the business? Do I share both? What do I do? And a lot of people are leading with product. And then they're later talking to them about business after they become a satisfied customer. Here's what I would tell you, and here's what big data will tell you. If you lead with product, you're going to have a success rate, a certain success rate. If you lead with opportunity, you're going to have a pretty similar success rate. If you lead with both, if you share both product and opportunity, it's like a 50% increase in overall retention and success. If you can do both in one and let them choose, here's an opportunity, here's the product that makes it possible. Here's a product and there's an opportunity attached, whichever you like. But if you let them know a bit about both, it's like 50% increase in productivity. That's what big data says. Okay. Sometimes, and I'm not pointing fingers, but sometimes we lean on product a bit too much because we're insecure about talking about the opportunity. We're very comfortable talking about the product. Oh my gosh, we can talk forever about that. But when it comes to the business, we're like, I got this thing, and you feel a little weird. So if it's me, I always had an entrepreneurial approach. I want to build a team, right? I'm working with one organization that, let's say 15, 20 years ago, they were very opportunity with product. It was a dual presentation approach. And about 10 years ago, they pivoted heavy to product, almost like requiring product first. And in my opinion, they built the infrastructure when they were talking about product and opportunity, and then they monetized that infrastructure. Those existing people got more customers in the last 10 years, but the base of earners isn't growing. Make sense? Has this ever happened to you? Think about when your actual real duplication of leaders is growing. There's some people who have people qualified at core ranks that are completely what I call zombie distributors. They're getting a check. They have no intention of growing anything. They're not sharing the business with a single soul. They're on your list of qualified people, but they're never at events. They're not part of the machine that's growing things. So that's my little side note. Okay. My side note is, in my opinion, the healthiest blend is talk about both. Talk about both. Here's another way an example that I try to share. Let's say I'm talking to, is it Lita? Lita, is that your name? Lita? Yeah. All right. It's Lita. So let's say Lita works in the same office I work in. Okay. And Lita says, gosh, I'm hungry. And so it's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, I've got an energy bar. You want one? It tastes amazing. She said, yeah, that would be perfect. I need that. That would get me through the day. And I bring in the energy bar and I say, it's just $2. And she says, okay, here's $2. I'm like, and I sit and watch her eat her energy bar. What do you think? What's the taste? Oh, isn't it good? Oh, I love the way they have the kind of the chocolate flavor on the outside and it's kind of caramel on the inside. Oh man, it's just amazing. Unbelievable. I come back the next day. How was that energy bar? Oh, I come back a week after that. The energy bar, huh? What do you think of that? Man. And then I come in 2 weeks later and I say, hey, guess what? I know you kind of like the energy bars that I have. Want to help me sell them? Kind of weird. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just an energy bar. You're getting weird on me. Right? But if I go into Lita and say, Lita, close the door. Or keep it open for HR purposes, whatever. Keep the window open. But I have something. You know how big the energy bar healthy snack space is in the world? It's huge. It's huge. And this brand and this brand and this brand and this brand. And I found a company that has one that, in my opinion, is better than all of them. And not only is it good for us, something that we're going to want to use on a regular basis, there's money involved. We can promote this product and create leverage, create an additional income, be able to do it in the flexibility of our lives. And when I thought of somebody that I'd love to do this with, I thought about you. Because like me, you're not being paid what you're worth. Neither am I. So I got this video over here, 7 minutes long, explains the whole thing, explains the whole business. If I give you this link, first of all, do you have any interest in this, or is this not making sense to you at all? My intuition is this might be a fit. Am I wrong? Or are you open? No, I'm open. Okay, cool. I got a link, watch it your next break. Shoot me a message later. Let's talk about this. I see big opportunity. We can capitalize on the biggest trends in the world, and we can make money, not just one time like some influencer or affiliate thing, but actual money on building a network and expanding this product locally, regionally, nationally, maybe even internationally. I know that sounds like big talk, but we can start part-time and see where we go. And it'd be fun to do something together. Which is a more interesting approach to Lita? Do you like my energy bar? Or there's this business and this is the product that makes it available. Or there's this product and there's a business attached. It's a little more common sense. You know the whole story going in. Now when she tastes the product, I'll bet you she goes, you know what? This is even, the product probably tastes better when I set it up that way. She's not going to be critical of it. She's going to be hoping it tastes good. Right? So, if you're doing this, now you heard me just describe this. I've done this 8 billion times. So I don't have to have an exact script. If you want to have an exact script for your team for duplication, you're going to have to really simplify and come up with, you might even have like an audio recording, say, listen, I'm going to mess this up if I try and explain what I have. But Lita, I just want you to listen to this. Here's a voice recording from my friend, Eric. And he's just going to tell you what's available here. And afterwards, I've got this link. Okay, now we can get people to do that. I don't know if I'm reducing this down enough or reducing it down too much, but I want you to just be thinking about this because we're trying to get a large group of people to do something consistently. That's going to be in our best interest. So, sharing the opportunity. How are you going to recommend they do that? How are you going to recommend they do that? Is it an audio recording? Is it a video? Is it a brochure? Is it a website? Is it a wellness evaluation? Is it a quiz? Is it a checklist? Is it a introduction to a friend? I know businesses that their entire DMO is just make an introduction to an upline, just in a 3-way chat. That's their whole DMO. The whole DMO is once a day, I want you to introduce me to somebody who would be a great candidate for our product or our opportunity. Just introduce me. You provide the people, I'll provide the presentation, I'll show you how we do it together. So that's the DMO, is just making the introduction. Can you do that every day? One person a day? Yeah. All right. Skill proof, fear proof. Okay. All right. How are you going to share the opportunity? Think about what that would be if you could pick one thing. And don't get hung up. Well, I don't have a good video. I don't have a good tool. Make a tool. Almost all of the tools that worked best for me, the company didn't have, and I was asking for the company, and I finally just made one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it's coming from you. Your team can use it better. This is the person I work with. We're getting better at being on camera and getting comfortable with it, right? Social media has helped with that. But make a tool. And it can be imperfect. I'll give you a quick story. I was in a launching new product with an organization, and I was in a 90-day run. And the 90-day run, at some point, we'll do a monthly session with the mechanics of how to do a 90-day run. But this was all in activity. I was talking to people. I started at 8 a.m. every day, and I went to midnight every day for 90 straight days, 16 hours a day. And all I did was income producing activity. All I did was talk to people. So imagine doing that. By about day 3, my voice was done. I was just destroyed. I couldn't even hardly croak out a word. And I was telling people to go talk to their prospects and then set up a 3-way call with me. And I'll just do a conversation every day. And here's what started to happen. I started getting phone calls and says, "Hi, this is Lita." And I'm, "Okay, hi, Lita. Are you Eric?" "Yeah, I'm Eric." "Well, Jermaine told me to call about some business you're doing." "Okay. Has Jermaine told you anything about it?" "No, I don't know anything." "So can you tell me?" Now I'm like, you are freaking kidding me. I've got to start from scratch 40 times a day? No, this is not going to work. My voice cannot handle it. So I made an audio recording about 7 minutes long that, remember like, it was like conferencecall.com and all that stuff where you could set up a phone number locally. So I just set up a phone number that a person could 3-way somebody into and listen to this recording. Okay. So and here's what I did. We're in launch mode. So this was like a big launch DMO, but everybody every day got at least 10 people to listen to that audio, and whoever had an interest afterwards, then introduce them to me. And that was my big year of growth when I went from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year. Everybody just did that at 10 times a day. I gave them the script on how to listen to the audio, and then they 3-wayed them with me, make an introduction. I took it from there, and off we went. And I taught them how to do the same thing. So what tool? I know I'm kind of going deep on this, but trying to describe to you how to create momentum. Some of you are stuck because you're too complicated. It's too much. You're doing too much yourself. You're not creating leverage within your organization. So share your opportunity with at least one distributor prospect. How? That's what you need to mastermind. That's what you need to brainstorm. Okay? Daily task number 4. Before I do that, there's a little closing 6-question close that I use every time after any presentation. I just included that in the workbook. This is teaching people what to say after a presentation, and you're going to have to do a lot of this for your brand new people. What did you like best on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you? If you did decide to do this, how much would you want to make per month in order to make this worth your time? How many hours a week could you realistically commit? How many months would you be willing to work those hours? If I could show you how to do that in that period of time, would you have an interest in taking the next step? Yeah? This little thing at the end of every exposure will change the results inside of your team. This little script. Okay? So I'm not going to go deep on it. I've trained on it a lot. Here's the little script. I just wanted to include it for you. Daily task number 4. Wouldn't it be good if everybody in your team engaged in some form of personal professional development? Personal development's the glue of our business. If you have people listening to good things, if people reminded of their greatness, people listening, watching, attending, taking notes like you are, they're in a different space. What if there was a habit that people had every single day that would keep them in the game? Jim Rohn kept me in the game. This little audio, I got an audio cassette from Jim Rohn. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, he was a personal development legend. He's passed away. But I got past an audio cassette, which was a bootleg copy of a talk he did for the Shackley organization. And it was called The Seed and the Sower. And it was like the biblical principle of the sower planting seed. And that was his job, plant the seed. Some fell on good ground, some fell on bad ground. But it didn't matter. Just keep planting. That's the lesson, right? And he talked about his first 6 years of his life, he was a mess. The next 6 years, he became a millionaire. And I went, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. I wore that audio out. Do you remember when you used to be able to dub audios, the little things where you could make audios of audios? I got a little thing where you could make like 6 at a time. And I would like label them and give them to my team. Everybody on my team, I'd tell you, you have to listen to this 100 times. Put it in your car and remember, you used to have cassette players in the car and it was just to flip over. It wouldn't flip over the cassette, but it'd flip over the side. When it got to the end, it would just flip over and keep going. You'd flip over and keep going, flip over, keep going. I miss audios. We lost that. But I got that, and then I got his Challenge to Succeed 6 audio album for $70. I wore that thing out, man. I could do that seminar by heart. But I turned my car into a drive time university. My equivalent of screen time back then, audio time. And I loved listening to live presentations that had an audience in them versus somebody that did something in the studio. It was just different. But I told my team what to listen to. And every time I listened to it, I heard something different. I listened to it just recently while I was working out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, some of that stuff just didn't even land back then. But I get it now. You know? You get the value of repetition. So if you can encourage your team to read, to listen, to watch, it'll help you a lot. It'll keep people in the game. Should this be part of your DMO? That's a question for you. And what would you encourage them to do? You got to get specific, okay? Because you can't just say engage in personal development. It's not going to work. Could you have a recommended book? I put it into the workbook. I don't have a slide for it, but I put 20 books that I recommend in the workbook that would like good starters for people that you could turn into like a little book club. And what if you had everybody reading a chapter a week of one of these books? And jump on a Zoom, hey, what's a big takeaway that you got? Whether it's, so book clubs are something, or GoPro Insider, for example. If you're not using GoPro Insider, I think you're insane. 7 minutes a day on average of ideas on keeping people in the game, and they got a little skin in the game. They spend $20 a month. Man, 42 hours of training a year for $20 a month. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you don't have everybody in there, it is like a cheat code, for sure. Who on your team should be using GoPro Insider? Make a list. And then what's your plan to encourage those people who aren't in there to get in there? And then what is your plan to make sure that they are consuming the content on a regular basis? And then how will you celebrate and support those people who do enroll? Will you treat them different? So there's a lot of ways to do this, and don't sleep on the personal development thing. It feels like a soft skill, but it's actually, there's no business that I'm aware of that rewards more highly and more quickly personal development. You can hear one thing and make money tomorrow. One tiny little thing. You start collecting these little ideas, your team starts doing the same thing. But if you're the only one getting the information, I mean, the other cheat code, frankly, let me ask you a question. How many serious people, serious and hungry people, do you have on your team that are serious and hungry? You could define that however you'd like. How many do you have? Put it in the chat. Everybody put something in the chat. How many you got? Just serious and hungry. They want this. They're ambitious. Okay. Now, the fact that you're here, if your number is low, this DMO strategy is going to help increase the number. Would you agree? When we light these fires, light a fire underneath these people and watch them get excited and build some confidence. But my second question for you, you want the ultimate cheat code? If they're serious and hungry, how much easier would your life be if all of those serious people were inside of this training with you today? Hearing it from me, not from you. I mean, it's literally a cheat code. It's the biggest shortcut I can give you. It's the equivalent of getting everybody in your team to a company convention and lighting them on fire in the most positive way. Get them in here. Do it as a team. Do it as a group. Don't do it by yourself and bring back the notes, because you might not have the skills to, or the experience or the credibility to be able to get them to engage in the things that I'm asking you to engage in. But they might hear it from me. So find a way. Connect with somebody on our team, whoever you're connected with. Send an email to support@Network Marketing Pro. And if you want to get a little Zoom together for your team or something, I'm actually doing it Zoom. When am I doing it? It's next week? No, it's 2 weeks from now. 18th. I'm doing a Zoom for people who are serious and hungry, and I'm going to talk to them about the Leadership Lab. It's free Zoom. I'll try and get you a link. I think it's on the 18th, as soon as the day after I get back from India. I'll give it to you. But the 18th. Okay. Can you find the link and put it in the chat? There's no link yet. All right. We'll email you a link as soon as we have it. But it's on the 18th. It's like How to Build an Empire is what we're calling it. Get all your serious and hungry people there, and let me help you create more duplication. Fair? All right. So GPI is one thing you can do for personal development and professional development. This is another. And it's also a sorting tool to find out. You say you're serious and hungry. You could do it. You should do it. You're not doing it. Why? Will it be the same as the original one for this mastermind? You have that, but this is going to be live. I'm going to be answering questions, walking through some of the stuff, showing you the workbooks, stuff like that. All right, let me give you another DMO. Number 5, some form of physical exercise. I have found that this is very important. Isn't that crazy? You're like, well, I'm not in a health and wellness company. It's still really important. There's something energetically about it that people are part of a community and they are taking charge of their life in a way. And it could be just going for a walk. It could be do 1 push-up a day. It could be anything. Find a trigger and create community around health, wellness, fitness, and use the community as a trigger. Can I tell you a funny story about triggers? I read this book because I'm maybe one of the most undisciplined people on earth. And this book was how to develop a habit, right? And in the book, it said you need to have a trigger that every time you do something, you're going to engage in this particular activity. So they recommended a trigger, and here was my activity that I wanted to do. Here's what I agreed to do mentally. Every time I went to the bathroom, when I was done, I did 10 push-ups. Okay? So the trigger was going to the bathroom. When I'm done, do the 10 push-ups. So, which you realize you start to like hold it later in the day. But because 10's, it doesn't sound like much. Yeah, try it for the next 24 hours. So anyway, I'm on a flight to Amsterdam, Minneapolis to Amsterdam. And I'm sitting on the right-hand side. I'm first class. Marina, I'm in the middle. Marina's to the left of me in that center aisle area. And my side's kind of empty. It's kind of weird. And then the last second, this big contingent comes in, and all these fancy people dressed in, suits and ties and pins, and this big tall guy is sitting next to me, goes up, introduces himself to captain. I'm like, what the heck? He's dressed in a suit, looks like, and a guy, super RoboCop type guy, sits right behind me, like straight up like this, tie right all the way up to here. I'm dressed in sweats like this. And we take off. And it's just kind of interesting. And the fancy guy's sitting 1 seat to the right of me. So I go to the bathroom first time. We take off, get settled, I go to the bathroom. And I come out and I'm like, huh. So it's like the galley area and this guy. So I'm kind of like, I like back my ass into this guy, and I go down on the floor and I do my 10 push-ups. And I get up, and the guy behind me looks like he wants to kill me. And the fancy guy is just kind of smiling. I'm like, man, I wasn't going to explain what I'm doing, but I'm doing my thing. I'm going I bought my ticket too. I'm going to do my thing. So I go to the bathroom like, 3 times, 4 times over the course of 8 hours. And every time I back my ass into this guy. So we land, and they let my side out first. And the first thing that happens, the guy behind me goes up into the cockpit. He comes out with looks like a gun case, a yellow gun case. And another lady, she comes out, she's dressed in all this, lapels and like military stuff. They get off, and I'm just following along. I'm on my phone, following them along. And that I find myself, I'm on the runway because I followed them out and onto the runway, and there's all these cars lined up with flags. And it was the king of the Netherlands that I had been backing my ass into 4 times. And his head of security was so mad at me, and I just did not understand. That story had absolutely no purpose here other than just saying sometimes having it happen and having a trigger. And it's a fun story to tell because I just connected through it, and it reminded me of that story. So anyway, what is the physical activity that you can add to your group? And if you do it in front of royalty, all the better. It could literally be walk around the block. It could literally be an apple a day. It could literally be drink a gallon of water. It could literally be do 5 push-ups. It could be anything. But if you incorporate it in your DMO, your team will be tighter. The community will be better. People will be more engaged and more grateful and more appreciative, and they'll stay around longer. They'll take more action. That other people will start complimenting them, which is going to build their confidence. And it's just little tiny things compounded over time. So that's one thing I would encourage you. It's one thing I've noticed in very strong organizations in doing that. So number 6, engage on social media in some form. How many of you promote some sort of social media activity on a daily basis? Put a 1 in the chat if that's part of what you do. You can have this be loose or you can have this be tight. What exactly you're going to ask them to do? I did a Zoom yesterday with some people who are successful in a company that I work with, and we were just kind of finding out what they were doing. And one of their secrets to success is they showed everybody on their team what they were planning to post the next day and encouraged everybody on their team to make their version of it. They did that every night before the next day. Well, is that going to increase people's chances of doing it? Probably. Simple little stuff. Simple little tasks. So what are the things to do? You want to engage. Engage is one aspect. Start conversations. Get your DMs moving. Show up. Post one simple thing. Go live. Like if you tell everybody to go live every day, be careful. Because if you make it feel like they're a failure if they don't go live every day, you're going to have a very small team. Like, I'll give you an example of a DMO similar to this that the company I was working with really leaned on hard. They leaned on home meetings. How many of you have ever done a home meeting? Put a 3 in the chat if you've ever done a home meeting. You ever done one? They work. For sure. For sure. You'll get more customers. You'll get more distributors. If everybody on the team did, it'd be amazing. But they baked it into their DMO that you must attend or host at least one home meeting every week. That was part of their method of operation. That was part of their culture. And here's the truth. No more than 5% of people will ever do a home meeting or attend on a weekly basis. No more than 5%. So 95% of people feel like they're out of the game already before you even start. Now, is there a place for home meetings? Of course, it's just a higher level of DMO. I'm talking base now. So bring this to social media. What's the base? That if they do that on a daily basis, they can create more conversations. And then you can use that to make exposures to product, exposures to opportunity, yeah? Introductions to somebody else or a tool or an event or whatever. Building relationship. So what is the thing that you can encourage people to do that will duplicate in social media? Number 7, these are just options now, and they're stacking, right? And all of them would be good. If you can do the first 6 and everybody would do it, it'd be amazing, right? Probably can't do that, though. When we're done here, I'm going to have you pick one and really lock it in, and then pick the next one and really lock it in until you hit resistance from the team doing it on a regular basis, and watch the results of any one of these things on a consistent basis. Promoting events. Promoting the next event, whether it is a virtual event, a Zoom call, a local event, a regional event, a social event, a company event. This could be promotion to prospects. This could be promotion to your team to attend whatever the next company event or regional event or team event is. But promoting events was a real part of my DNA because it did all the work for me. I really leaned on this hard. We were always inviting, we were always pushing, we were always encouraging, we were always promoting whatever the next event was. And it could be a Zoom. The next Zoom is going to be the most amazing Zoom ever. And I give people scripts and reasons and why, and tell the world, invite your friends. Here's how to do it. Here's some scripts. Here's everything in order to be able to make this happen. Okay? So promoting an event, you got to decide, is this part of your DMO or not? But, and there'll be a month when I give you an absolute promotional playbook, a workbook on how to promote, because it's a higher level skill. You just got to decide now, is this going to be part of your DMO? Is this something that you want people to do every day? And if it is, what are you inviting to? And how are you going to encourage them to do it? And you have to make it, write these 2 phrases down, please. Skill proof and fear proof. If you want the DMO to duplicate, it has to be skill proof and fear proof. So if that's the case, Do you maybe you create a little video that explains the next event and all they have to do is share it? Is that better than having them share it? If you have a flyer that has the 10 benefits of attending the event that they could send a PDF to somebody, is that better than trying to tell them to memorize it and share it? Yeah. You got to think all the way down, third grade level. A, B, C. Super simple. Fear proof. You don't have to have a lot of confidence to say, hey, here, there's this event. I think you'd find value. Here's a link. Or if you have a little bit more skill, if I sent you a link, would you watch it? When could you watch it for sure? So if I call you after that, you've seen it for sure, right? What's the best time? What's the best way for me to connect? I'll talk to you then. Bye. Yeah, a little bit higher skill, but both would include a tool, in my opinion, a tool, a person, or an event. I became one of the tools. I was one of the people that I told my team, if somebody on your team is not coming to the company convention, put them on a call with me. So I'd have them use a video or something first to if they made a decision. If they still said no, they couldn't see it, connect them with me. Let me do it. I can't tell you how many people, like, my team's not going. Right? Nobody has any money, and nobody can afford it, and nobody has time, and nobody can get off work, and nobody can get childcare. 5 minutes with me, they're coming. Why? I had a different skill set. I had a higher level of belief. I had a different conviction than they did. So they were apologizing for asking somebody to go. I was telling them, if I don't like you, I would tell you not to go. But I like you. I want you to win. So that's why it's really important that you go. I know it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like a convention or something. It's not. Leaders are born at these places. Let's go do it together. Let's go on an adventure. Let's do something outrageous. Let's run away for a weekend and dream. As a group together, let's go do it. Let's have some fun. Right? So I would do it if they didn't have the confidence. But I give them a tool first so they can be self-sufficient if possible. And again, you guys can create a tool. What if you're the only one on your team? Can we pick more than one at a time? Of course. Of course you can. If you're in this group, you're serious and you're hungry, you can pick more than one at a time. No problem. So these are the 7 core that I would have you kind of start with. Can you think of any others that you'd want people to do on a daily basis that would have priority over these 7? Use the product, share the opportunity, physical exercise, personal development, social media, promoting events. Those are kind of the basics. Referrals could be one. Referrals. And let me give you a better word than referrals. This is strange, but language matters. Okay? Like, I call myself a network marketing professional, that I'm in the profession of network marketing. I think that matters. Versus I'm involved in this deal. Right? So referrals, I would have you replace that word publicly. Privately, you can think about that's what you're trying to get as referrals. But publicly, replace that word with introductions. Because a referral kind of implies an obligation, kind of you're vouching for somebody. You're like responsible somehow. Like if I refer somebody to you, now I'm part of the equation. And like, I don't know if I want to be part of the equation. I don't even know what's going on. But can I ask somebody to make an introduction? Who'd be a great candidate? Introduce me to one sharp person a day that you know. And just a little 3-way chat. Introduce me. Now you'll end up with a referral. But the introduction is much easier for people to get their head around, and they like making introductions. Hey, my friend Ross, this is my friend Sandra. Sandra, this is Ross. Ross, this is Sandra. I wanted to connect you guys because I think you'd have a lot in common, yada, yada, yada. Ross is my friend. He does business and this and this and this. Sandra, she's working this corporate job and, she's looking for options. And I thought you guys, would have something in common to be able to kind of learn from each other. I'll get out of the way. You guys I hope you have a great conversation. Bye. Right? How many times you've made an introduction to somebody who's a realtor or, does something? You make a little introduction. This is normal. Referrals is heavier. Do you feel that? The heaviness of it. Can you give me some referrals? Now I'm obligated. What if you do a bad job? Now I referred you and I've got to deal with it. Right? So language, little language things increases duplication. Okay? I'm going to give you some bonuses and then we're going to open up for discussion. Bonus tasks. If you're higher level, these are others to think about. 3 more. Connect with at least one customer per day. If you only have one customer, calling him every day is going to be weird. How are you today? Did you use the product today? What was the experience like? A little weird. But if you have 20 and you contact one every 20 days, that's not weird. How's it going? You're losing weight, you're getting benefits, you're enjoying this thing, you're having more energy, you're sleeping better. You tried the service. How's it going? Talk to you in a few weeks. Have a good day. It's lighter, easy. So connect with at least one customer. Once you have a certain foundation of it, you'll get good results from that. All business conversation. Sometimes just talking to a customer, you'll end up adding to their order. You'll end up, I was wanting to get this other thing, but I didn't think about it. Now that you're on the phone, and pretty soon you can have more conversations that turn into business conversations. Just all good things happen on a daily basis. Another bonus task, talk to at least one leader on your team. One distributor. Forget leader. Leader's the wrong word. Connect with at least one team member. Leaders are rare. One team member. Just connect with them. How you doing? What's your plan this week? What's your plan this month? What's your next goal? What's your next target? What are you working on? What's your project? What are the things you're doing on a daily basis? What's working for you? Here's what's working for me. Tell them a story. Connect with them. It's a crazy reality of our business. You can build a team you can manage a team of unlimited size working with 20 people. Because some of you are like, I don't know how I'm going to manage. I've got 10 people on my team and I don't have any time. I'm overwhelmed. It's too much. Well, we're going to get DMOs flowing so it starts to become less and less pressure on you. But if you have 20 people, you should be talking to those 20 people on a regular basis, right? On your team. And let's say you get 200 people. You can still only work with 20 who will end up working with the other 180. But you can manage your entire team with a different level of influence people, still 20. If you have 2,000 people on your team, still 20. If you have 20,000 people on your team, still 20. 200,000, still 20. 2 million, still 20. They just have bigger groups. And they're going to be doing it with their people. It's going to repeat. We're in a business of leverage. So don't be freaked out that when I get a big team, I'm not going to be able to manage it. You're going to be able to manage it just fine. But start, if you have 20, talk to 20. How good will it be if everybody in your team you talk to once a week? Will you get more results? Will there be more duplication? Will there be more progress? There'll be more activity? Of course. Of course. All business conversation, even inside your team. It's not just with prospects. So, bonus task number 10. Connect with at least one leader. Did I do that wrong? I might have done that wrong. Was the last one or is it leader and leader? A team member. All right, sorry. Yeah, I did it wrong. Sorry. Team member was right. Sandy has it right. I've obviously always on number 9. And leader is 10. If you have somebody who's a bigger sphere of influence, you need to make sure you stay in good relationship. And bonus pro tip, make sure you're highly connected to people that don't need you. Because if you lose relationship, you start taking them for granted. You start just assuming that they're always going to be connected. Even if they say, no, I don't need recognition. Anybody who says on your team, I don't need recognition, give them extra recognition immediately. I'll say, it's so amazing that you're a person that just doesn't need recognition. Wow, you're an unbelievable leader because you don't need to have recognition like some people. They're so needy, but you're not needy. You're a powerful player. I'm proud to work with you. Gush recognition on them. They need it. Okay. And also the teams, like some of you are in like 2-line structures and you got your power leg and your other leg, right? And you don't have to give your power leg as much attention. Be careful. Because at some point, if that flips and you haven't given any attention to those people for a long time because you're not getting paid over there, be careful. They'll get offended. They will leave you. Some of you get only paid through a certain number of generations in your compensation plan, and that's all you focus on. Let me give you another pro tip. At least 70% of your organizational volume should be outside of your pay structure. 70. Some of you, 100% is inside your, you're getting paid on every penny that happens through your organization. Well, that's okay, but it's not freedom. 70% should be outside. That's your security. Because as things roll up, it stays thick in where you're getting paid. You're like, wait, I would go work somewhere where I'm not getting paid? Yes. If there's somewhere in your structure, Michelle's asking, can you explain that again? Outside of what? Outside of where you're getting paid. It's beyond what the compensation plan pays. It's deeper. It's outside of where your comp is. Some people just won't work there at all. They won't even talk to those people. They won't call them. They won't. It's like they're invisible. It's like they're cross-lined to them. It's a huge mistake. Massive mistake. Okay? So connect with at least one leader, regular basis, bonus structures. So here's the base, the 10 base DMO daily tasks. Okay? Here's the 10. You'll have this in the workbook as well. I'd like you to think of one at least, and you know you have one when everybody knows it, everybody does it, and it's getting results. That's when you know you have a DMO. You have a system around it. Everybody knows it. Everybody does it. And it works. And you got to get specific around these things. So, and guess what? If it's just you, congratulations for being in here. I'm super proud of you. If you don't have a team and you're here because you're serious and you're hungry, awesome. It starts with you. What are you going to do every day? And if you're really serious, can you do 7 out of these 10? Sure. Part-time? Yep. If you're hungry, but now can you expect everybody in your team to do 7 of these? No. Now we got to think, once you have a team, what's going to be the point of the spear? What's going to be the focus? And we can expand after that. What's the foundation for you? Product and service companies might be using the product. Product companies, might be using the product. Service companies might be sharing the product or sharing the opportunity. You got to decide. Okay, so spend some time thinking about this. The next thing I want to talk about is how do you promote this? Once you identify what it is that you want to do, how do you promote it? 1, lead by example. Lead by example. Don't expect people to do things you're not doing. If you tell people to use the products publicly, you should be using them publicly. If you tell people to post every day, you should be posting every day. What if you posted every day of you using the products and that took care of 2 in 1? Whether you talked about the products or not doesn't matter. You can be talking about, hey, the weather, the kids, just 1 second. And you take you sip your product, you put it back down. So, oh my gosh, I can't believe how this helps me so much. Or what was I telling you about the kids getting back to school? I got to go get the back to school shopping. I got to get all their books and pencils and pens and all that stuff. Yeah. One more time. Wow, that's so good. All right, back to what I was talking about. See what I'm saying? Could you do 2 in 1? Probably. If you did that every day, would some people say, what the heck are you drinking? What is going on? What is that thing? You keep saying it's really tasty. What is that thing? You say you're feeling amazing. What? What is going on? What are you swallowing? What are you putting on your hands? What the heck is going on? You're doing your makeup with that stuff. What is that stuff? Now your DMs light up. Now you can start sharing. Yeah. Occasionally you can say, everybody's been asking me what this is, and I'm not going to bog you down with it. Just put me in the comments if you'd like to know what this thing is, and I'll send you a DM and I'll let you know. Could that duplicate? Sure. Now you create more conversations in the DMs, you start involving other people, you start using tools, you start making it go. So lead by example, right? And if you see my teaching style, I kind of give you this stuff, but then I circle around and I come at it from another perspective, and I give you another story and give you another example, give you another story, give you another example. If you were my team, here's what we would start doing. I would continue to reinforce the importance of this. I would strip away all the other options, because right now I just gave you, what did I give you? Cheesecake Factory. Too many choices. So guess what I would do if you were my team? I would take away your decisions and I would make it for you. I would just make the decision. This is what we're all going to do. Yeah, but I want to do this too. Fine, so long as you do this as well. This is what's sacred. This is what's important. This is what we're going to reward. So I'm going to lead by example. Watch me. Let's do it together. 2, make it a team standard. This is what we do. Have it be the expectation. This is what we do. This is foundation. Of course, this is what we do every day. You're not in this business if you're not doing this thing. 3, track it together. Gamify it if you can. How many days in a row have you done it? What's your streak of taking the products every day? How many days in a row? 7 days, 8 days, 9 days? You can ask somebody in your team 6 months in. How many? I'm 180 days straight. Haven't missed. Track it. Number 4, celebrate consistency. Embrace and celebrate people who are doing the thing. This is how you promote it. Right? Make the decision for them, lead by example, make it a team standard, track it together, celebrate consistency, teach it in every training. The one thing about our business is very repetitive. But the other thing about our business is our team is rarely the same from one training to the next. There's always some difference. Somebody wasn't there, somebody is there. And don't think because you said it one time or you sent out an announcement or whatever that everybody's going to do it. They're not. They're just not. I mean, how many of you do, let's say, a weekly team Zoom? Put up one in the chat if you do a weekly team Zoom. Okay? How many people are on it? Let me ask you this. What percentage of your total team attends that weekly Zoom? Your total possible team. 2%, 5%, 14%. What does that tell you? Every time you got to remind them again. You want to really bake in a DMO? You got to teach it in every training. Take 5 minutes and talk about the benefits. Have somebody give a testimonial. Have somebody reinforce it. Recognize people who are doing it. You got to reinforce it. It won't happen on its own. So a couple other things. Just write this into your notes. We'll talk about it at a future lab. There's a DMO, which we're going to build and strengthen. There's a WMO, a weekly method of operation. There's rhythms in our business. Daily is base, base, base. There's a weekly method of operation, WMO. There's a monthly method of operation. There's a cycle in the month. Starting the month. How do we start every month? How do we close every month? There's usually urgency built into the close, but do you have some urgency or something? Maybe you have a habit of getting people into more conversations at the beginning of the month, and then you support them to close out the business towards the end of the month. There's usually a rhythm around that. A quarterly method of operation, kind of from event to event, regional type thing. And there's an annual method of operation that usually is tied around your company convention. But there are rhythms in our business. Today's not a day to talk about those things. I just want you to be aware of them. We're looking for baseline today. And then another thing I'll just throw here real quick. So if you have base, one thing, two things, three things, whatever it is. Then you got, let's say, core rank or somebody who's hungry. So base is all. But can you see that you can maybe ask a little more from a core rank person or somebody who says they're hungry? So you can make this a little bit more difficult. If there's one thing here, maybe there's three things here. You know, if there's three things here, maybe there's five things here. That make sense? So you can maybe ask a hungry person to do a home meeting when the base is not going to do that. Make sense? All right. So a hungry person will go live if you give them a template. The base is not going to go live. You know, but they might post if you give them enough instruction. Then I would go above that. Let's just call it presenter. Can you, if you find people who learn how to become a presenter, can you ask more of those people? Can you have them do more presentations? Can you have them be involved in trainings? Can you have them be involved in the education and the promotion within the organization? Can you expect more of these people to be promoting events versus this group? Making sense? There's more personal development in here. There's more professional development up here as it starts to go up. So it's not one size fits all. There's the base that we want to make sure that we build solidly, because then we can, of that base, we can start moving people up. I would put a higher level here of a traveler. A person who will actually travel to support a team. How many presenters do you have on your team? How many travelers? Can you ask more of them? Of course. Can you ask more of these presenters? Sure. Can you ask more of core and hungry people? Yeah. They'll self-identify though. We want to make sure that you have base. Okay? So, like I told you, get your team into the lab. Let me teach them how to do this stuff. Okay? We're going to do this month by month, topic by topic. Now, we got about 20 minutes. I want to open up for questions. Anybody who has a question, just hit the little hand raise button on any of this stuff, anything regarding daily method of operation or daily tasks, and I'm happy to answer any question, give you a little hot seat coaching if you'd like. Anybody have a burning question? No, you guys all good? Jesus, you got one? All right, Shelly and Ross, go ahead. And if you don't want to hang around for questions, you got what you need. Feel free to bail. But I find in the questions sometimes you can get a lot of value, getting a little bit more understanding. So go ahead, unmute yourself, or we'll help you unmute. Shelly and Ross, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Eric. How are you?
This product is so good.
It is. Thanks for awesome training. I just had a question. So we've definitely been working very hard on systemizing everything and having scripts and checklists. So we do a wellness evaluation with the Tanita body composition scan scales, and I've got the team doing it, like most of them. Then we graduate them once they know what to do. So obviously it's a fairly complicated process because you've got to get a lead, do a script, get them to show up, do the body scan, explain the body scan, know how to use the scales. So is there any way that I could simplify that? I feel like I'm doing it, continually refining and trying to simplify. Like I've just changed our referral sheet to take off referrals and go more introduction. So I'm going to adjust that. So how could we make that body composition thing simpler?
Okay. Well, first question, is it getting results?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have do you have any data on how much better results people are getting that are using it versus people who aren't?
It's all this is all our team are doing because it's basically this is what everyone does to get clients right now.
Okay, but I'm sure there's some that aren't doing it, right?
Yes.
Right. Even though it's kind of your team DMO. So
they're probably not getting customers if they're not using it.
That's fine. If you can contact somebody. First of all, you need to promote the thing.
Yeah.
Here's why this thing is such a big deal. So you got to promote why to do the thing. Because people who do this get more customers and they make more money. And here's what you can expect on average. There's no guarantees. Everybody's results are their own. But if you take people who are not doing it, they get this result. People doing it get this result. So it might be a little scary. Let me give you a video that will invite somebody to check it out. Put them on the phone. If you have somebody who wants to get the results that our product or service provides, make an introduction to me. Let me help you. See what I mean? So yeah. Whether it's a tool or a person or some sort of resource, if you can equip them with that and then let them know why to do it, and then also give them basic scripts, simple stuff that they could even say, listen, I'm brand new at this, but let me just read what they're recommending for you, because they're experts at this, the people I work with. I'm not an expert. So step 1 is you should do this, and here's how you would do it. So let me just read it to you. Step 2 is do this. Step 3 is watch this. And then, I'll see you at this thing. So, if we set up this appointment, would you show up? That kind of thing. Yeah. So give them some basic scripts and give them permission to just be vulnerable and transparent about that they're using this script. Give them a script about the script.
Good point.
Give them a tool that they can use that's going to help them get results, and then constantly reinforce how well it's working. Like working with an organization and helping them. They've got a rank within their organization where people have to get 10 recruits and 2 at core rank. In order to be able to do that with a few different organizations, like corporately.
Yeah, primarily.
What I did yesterday, last night for 90 minutes, is they just launched it last month, and for 90 minutes, I took the first people who qualified. There's 23 of them, and I did like a 2 to 3 minute podcast style interview of them. I did. And I say, Shelly and Ross, congratulations for qualifying at this thing. What did you do? How'd you do it? They said, well, I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. And well, how about this? I'm like, yeah, there's no problem. I did this and I did that. And this worked really well. And this, I just made a decision. And, I have all my notes. You want to know? Here's what I got from the notes. You want to hear this? This is really cool stuff. I wonder if I still have it. Darn it. Well, yeah, I think I do. Oh, here it is. So here's the notes I had from these people. But here's what we created in 90 minutes. I did, and every one of you can do this with every person on your team that is doing your DMO, right? Shelly and Ross, you can take every person that's doing this with success. You can put them on a Zoom side by side and you say, I understand that you're doing this evaluation. How are you getting people to show up? And what's the results? How much money have you made as a result of doing this? And now they have a little 3-minute thing that they can send. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of these little podcast style video interviews. And we're going to clip them into videos that they can use as tools. But here's what I learned from it. One girl said, and when somebody says no, she says, I'll take that as a maybe. I love that. It made me laugh. The certainty was great. When they talk about their products, they just talked about feeling better. And from feeling better, they wanted to share it with other people. Largely female organization, they talked about working with their sideline sisters. That was a little sideline sister like logo thing. They're offering daily ideas for social media for their teams. They're making it fun, adding community, more conversations, helping people bust through belief barriers. They talked about that a lot, making a decision, being bold, casting your vision. One girl says, I live in the land of delusion and I teach other people to do the same thing. I don't accept average. I loved it so much. Showing up daily, all these different types of things. But now, could you take Everybody that's actually doing your scan, can you make a little interview video with them on how they're doing it and use that for everybody in your team to be able to say, oh my gosh, I can do this too.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yep.
And again, look for choke points. All of you, look for resistance, look for friction, look for where it's bottlenecking and stopping, and go in there and unlock it with a tool or a training or recognition or something. You've got influence to be able to unlock the choke point, but you got to recognize where it is. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Love you guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next? We got 10 more minutes. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So this has been amazing. And so for me, it's, and maybe we like sort of talked about this. I mean, there was so much kind of poured into us, and I'm going to go through our notes, but follow-up, right? They always say the fortunes in the follow-up. So like, where does this land in these DMOs?
That's an excellent question. Probably needs to be, it's either incorporated into sharing with a customer or a potential a prospect about your product. You could probably incorporate or follow up, share with at least one person or follow up with at least one person. You could share the opportunity with at least one person or follow up with another person. That's a good distinction because that is a real thing. Or you can add it as, every day you're going to follow up with somebody.
Yeah.
You can incorporate it into one, kind of have an either or, give them a choice, or you can have a distinct one. But again, play with it. Is it a choke point, or do you free more people up if you give them a choice of either new one or follow up and give them that option? Okay. You get enough people, maybe the option needs to be, or the follow up needs to be baked in. But again, all of this is be a student of what's working and what's not. And what can you get where everybody knows it, everybody does it, and it works. When you get there, you are free. You're home. For 3.5 years, Stephanie, I had no duplication. I had addition and subtraction. I would add people, lose people, add people, lose people, add people, lose people. It was the most frustrating thing. I was the only serious person on my team, it felt like, for 3.5 years. I mean, I was like, when is somebody else going to show up with something? And it wasn't about my work ethic. I worked hard, but I didn't have the results. It wasn't until I reduced it down to ridiculously simple that things started to duplicate. I found little tiny levers that moved big mountains. Little tiny things that people could do, and it was fun and light and magical, and they get some results, and it was built community, and they felt good about themselves, and they didn't feel like they were going to the dentist. It didn't feel like work. It felt like fun, and it was mission driven and all these different things. But I was all the way out here. I knew everything. I knew more than my upline knew. I knew how every part of the compensation plan worked. I knew the ingredients in the products. I knew everything. But what I realized is the top earners didn't know almost anything. You go meet some of your top earners. They don't know how a lot of this stuff works. But they know to create some simple stuff. They know how to tell stories. They know how to give assignments. They know how to build culture. They know how to recognize and gush on people. They know how to stay in communication. So I was a tactician that was trapped with my own knowledge instead of a culture builder focused on not being the smartest guy in the room, but being the smartest person when it came to getting out of the way and learning how to create stuff that would actually duplicate. Changed everything. My first 3.5 years, I made like 60,000, 80,000, 90, like 110,000 the 3.5 year in or something like that, right at 100,000. I figured this out. Next year was 980,000. I started becoming one of those $1 million a year people. And I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like cheating. because I'm doing all this, I'm doing everything. I mean, and part of my identity was taking on the weight of the world. I'll do all the presentations. I'll do all the trainings. I'll get you up in the morning. I'll put you to bed at night. I'll, burp you if you get fussy, and I'll, encourage you, and I'll hug you, and I'll do all these different things. And finally, I just realized I got to build something so basic, because I don't have the leverage of being a boss where I can fire them if they don't do it. So I have to influence them. And if I'm going to influence them, I got to keep it simple, because people are easily distracted. And whatever the simple thing has to get results. And I started leaning into that. And then I was like, oh my God, finally. I remember like 2 years after that, it was like a dream. Somebody walked across the stage at the highest rank in the company, and I didn't even know they were on my team. I found out that day. Oh, they're on my team? Oh my God, really? I got to go meet this person that I'd never met. I'm excited for that day for you. When somebody walks across the stage, you're like, no way, they're on my team? No way, they're in that other country? No way. Awesome. I got to go take them to lunch. I didn't make them do what they needed to do. They did it because I built a system. Right?
Yeah. And it's so funny that you mentioned that. It's because, we think work hard. The harder we work, the more we know, the further we go. And you're like, no, bring that back, boil it down.
Well, it is a combo. You're still going to work hard. Let me tell you what, simplicity is hard. Complicated's easy. You're going to work hard at simplicity. You're going to work hard to get the DMO duplicating. You're going to work hard. Don't think for a second you're not going to work hard. You're just working hard at something different. Less words, less steps. Simpler. What's the simplest thing you can do to get the biggest return? Now, can we get everybody to do it every day? That's when you need to become a genius. Because guess what? People get bored. How do you keep it fresh when you're doing the same old little thing? That's where leadership comes in. Keeping it fresh, keeping it exciting, keeping the vision. Here's why, here's the story, here's recognition, here's testimonials, here's extra training. We have the ultimate system. Our team's the best. All the stuff that you have to incorporate in order to be able to keep it going. And we get bored. And here's the danger. We get bored with the simple thing that works. A bunch of you have something that worked in the past. You stopped doing it.
Yep.
And now you're doing something else, and you're just kind of wandering around in the wilderness. Some of you just got to go back to what worked and lean in. But make no mistake, work ethic is still required. And simplicity, study Jim Rohn, pay attention to what I try to do, which is take these concepts and reduce them down into an understandable thing, give people an assignment, and people will be very relieved when you give them an assignment. I just need you to do this. Your next step is doing this. Okay. They'll go do that thing, and they don't have to think about it. They don't have to create it. They don't have to design it. They don't have to worry about it too much. Just follow the bouncing ball. And they build their confidence. They start doing more and more. Okay? That helpful, Stephanie?
Yes, thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Who's next? I'll do two more. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
So when we first started talking about DMO, one of the things that popped in my head, and you just said it, that when people join, they really don't want a boss. They want to build something on their own. They want to have control of their day. So, rolling out a DMO is a little difficult. You said a couple of things kind of as we went on, like the live podcast style video, showing people how they, how others are winning with that. And also having the different levels of DMOs based on kind of their drive. And I was wondering, just thinking about that, is there anything else that you would add to that if you have those kind of people?
I mean, here's the thing. 100%. I learned a magical little phrase that changed everything for me, because I was Mr. Big Boss. I was like, we're all doing this. And I was like military style. And everybody's like, heck, hey, I joined for freedom. I didn't join to be, and you're a kid, and I don't know if I don't even relate to you. So don't be so bossy kind of thing, right? And here's what I learned is to set the expectation and tell every single person on the team, my job is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. That's my goal. That's my objective. Do you agree that that's a good goal? That we'll stay friends, but you can build with or without me. Okay? The only way that I work with people personally is if they're willing, coachable, and hungry. And you can decide. But I mean, just if you're willing to be in the game and do some simple stuff, it won't be hard. Simple stuff, and we make it fun, we start getting some results, we earn a way for you to justify more time and attention. Would you agree? So the way that I figure out if somebody's willing, coachable, and hungry, and it's a good investment of time, is I just going to give you assignments, simple little things. It's not going to be hard. And please don't think that I'm doing it because I'm your boss. I'm just a little bit farther down the path than you are, maybe a few days farther down the path, but I'm just going to give you what was given to me, which is a proven daily method of operations, daily tasks as a foundation that'll give you the best possible chance of building real income and a real business inside of this opportunity that you just joined. So is it okay with you if I give you some of those assignments that were given to me? I'm not some big boss, but if I give you these assignments that are just designed for you to become independent, would you be okay if I give those to you from time to time? And just lay out for you what I'm doing, what the most successful people in the company do, and we're all doing that. And so if I set up the relationship like that with you, Kimberly, now I've gotten permission to be able to lay out what we're doing. And the only reason I got there is I screwed it up so many times. I mean, I chased really good people away. They say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That is nonsense. You can chase good people away by being amateur yourself. So I learned to have that crucial conversation early in order to be able to get permission to give assignments. And then I started to reinforce those things. And the other part is learning how to be influential. And here's what I learned how to do. I learned how to lead people without telling them I was leading them. Because, if somebody was 15 years older than me, I'm 25 and they're 40, I needed to be really careful with my language because I could be offensive. This young kid, I hadn't earned it. I wasn't a big shot yet. Once I was $1 million earner, they'd listen. But when I'm sitting around $5,000 a month, it's like, hey, whatever, kid. So I had to be careful with my language. I had to go to somebody. Let's say you were somebody on my team that was way more successful than I was. I had to go to you and say, hey, Kimberly, guess what? I just saw one of the most successful people in the company, and they're doing this particular approach, and they say it's their secret to making lots and lots of money. What do you say we look at it together and see if it's a good idea to build inside of our teams? Let's just evaluate it, because if it's helping them make more money, maybe we can just kind of replicate that inside of our team. What do you think? I've already made the decision it's going to happen, but I involve you in the decision-making process. It's just influence, and you can get books on influence. You can read books on influence. This is leadership stuff, but sometimes you have to make it their idea, especially if they've got an ego, healthy or unhealthy. You got to make it their idea, and then you get more involvement. So you learn. Some people will just follow instruction. Some people need to be part of a community to do it. Some people, you need to let it be their idea without it, them taking over and becoming a monster inside the team. So does that help as far as understanding the different ways and set it up?
Yep, it does help a lot. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're welcome. Great to hear from you. And we'll do one more. Hello, Lorena.
Hi, Eric.
How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. I'm following you since 25 years ago. So
Wow.
I'm really happy to talk to you now.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Probably my question is about the same of everyone. I have a big team, and I have like 20 leaders with a big team each one. but I don't know how to influence them to do the things. I mean, I have the system.
Let me ask you a question. What company are you with?
Centeno.
Zeno. And
Yeah,
these 20 leaders, are they in 20?
You were with
the great
Zeno
company.
in Croatia, and I said, say hi to Eric for me, please.
Yes.
Zeno is one of my best friends.
Yes, she came and found me on the streets in I think it was Bar, Croatia. But
I was jealous.
We were just there last week. So the 20 leaders you have, are they in different lines? Or are they in
just behind me in my team?
Okay, 20 people.
Different lines. They are close lines, some of them.
Okay. The part of a trick is familiarity. How long have you been with your company?
8 years.
8 years.
But in Mexico, it's just 2 years ago. So I have been making the
2 years there, 8 years in total. With leaders and with large teams, familiarity breeds contempt. They get to know you too much, and then sometimes they can't hear you. Okay? Or maybe they feel like they're making more than you, or they know as much as you, or it gets weird between leadership. Upline, downline, crossline, it gets weird. That's just natural. So if you have an idea, the easiest way to implement an idea like this is get those people into this lab with you and let me help them understand the same things that you're understanding. So you all understand at the same time. You create another mastermind inside of the group. And then you can imagine if those 20 were in this lesson today. And then you all had the notes and say, okay, now what should we do? Now it's us. When you're just by yourself, now it's like, I'm going to go try and tell all these strong leaders what they're going to do. And they're going to what the heck? I'm
Some
fine.
of them would like to do it, but they don't have the income to do to pay their leadership. Maybe,
but if you're willing, coachable, and hungry, you can find it. This is not something that's too far out of your reach when it comes to what it's going to pay. How many of you put in the chat, put a 5 in the chat if this training will pay for the entire year? This one training, this one workbook will pay for the entire year. Yeah. So come on. And we're going to do this every month, plus getting together in person, plus. So it's not an expense, it's an investment. The only way you don't benefit from this is if you don't show up. I mean, come on. So, but now imagine they're all in and you're all kind of working on this together. You all sit down and go through this together and you all kind of map it out together. Since you don't have that right now you've got to go to them with respect and say, I have some ideas that Eric Worre shared. I'd like to discuss those with you and get your feedback on what you think might work for our organization. And that they may or may not listen to you. If they don't, you start with your open organization, New Lines, and prove the model. And then bring the evidence to them and say, I'm doing this new thing. I'm getting this result. Do you want to try it? So you might have to prove it, with the test group first, if they're not in here learning with you. And that's okay. Or maybe you can get a few of them to prove it with you. They're, 3 or 4 of them are going to do it with you. And the rest of them, no, I'm good. I've got plenty of growth. I don't want to mess with what I've got going on. No problem. Maybe the 3 or 4 do it and they show the evidence to the rest of the group and say, this might be something we want to do as a team. Okay. So again, leading leaders is a unique skill. We're going to talk about that in this lab.
Which book do you recommend to inspire people?
Which what?
Book do you recommend to inspire people?
There's 20 that I put in this workbook. Okay. I would start there.
Okay.
You pick any of those, and those are the broadest ones that are probably available in language that you can try. Okay? So cheat code, get them in here. If you can't get them in here, then you might have to test it. Maybe you can get some of them to test it with you. Use the credibility in order to be able to say, why don't we try it? And before it's a system, you can start something with a campaign. It can be just a short-term campaign. Let's do this for 30 days. Let's do this for 2 weeks and just see how everybody does. So it doesn't have to, you don't have to mess with their DMO right now, but you can simplify something and have it be a 10-day campaign or a 7-day campaign or a 30-day campaign And if everybody goes, gosh, we should do this every month. We should do this every week. Okay. Well, then we could talk about it. See what I mean?
Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. If you have questions, throw it into the chat in Telegram. Our team's in there. I'm in there. Marina's in there answering questions and helping people kind of get to the next level. Study, fill this out, put it to work. You know what to do. Get people into GoPro Insider. Get people into this lab. On August 18th, I will send you a link. We'll make sure we put it. Everybody who's serious and hungry, like Lorena, I think, was the last lady, yes? Lorena, you're 20 people. Use all of your persuasion to get them into that 1 hour Zoom on August 18th and let me talk to them. And then they'll see if it's a potential fit for them. The rest of you do the same thing. People who are willing, coachable, hungry on your team, don't make a decision for somebody else. Like one thing Lorena said, well, some of these people don't have money. Don't make that decision for somebody else. That's not your business to make that decision. This is not an expense. If this is an expense for any of you, I'm going to be super depressed. You should be able to make a multiple of your annual investment on every single one of these workbooks and trainings that we do. Let alone getting together, let alone networking with each other, let alone learning from each other. It should be an absolute easiest thing in the world. It's not 5,000 going down the drain. It's 5,000 investing as a seed into your future. Okay? So, mad love to all of you. Hope you have a spectacular, amazing day. I'll wave at you from Mumbai, India, next week. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, dump it in the chat. I'll see you and your teams on the 18th, and I'll see you at the next training, which I've decided what it is. We don't have the dates for the next one, but I'll get it to you. Next month, I'm going to teach you how to increase the average lifetime value of every customer you have in your organization. How to get more retention, more sales, more revenue for the people that you bring in. It's way easier to get more productivity from an existing customer than it is to go get a new one. So I'll teach you how to get more out of the people that you get. Okay, that's what's coming next month. We'll get you the date. We'll get you the time. Everybody have a great day. Mad love. See you soon. Proud of you all. Bye-bye.